Flows is a new feature from Elvex that allows you to sequence multiple steps together to happen at the click of a button. Why have we built flows? AI is really good at reliably performing one or two requested actions at a time, but it tends to fall down when you have a workflow that has 5, 10, or 15 steps all stuffed into a single request. By breaking out each thing that you want it to do into a single dedicated step, you are able to perform much more complex and powerful interactions with AI. For example, at the click of a button, you could have AI research things for you, validate its research, create a spreadsheet from its findings, run some math on the data inside to create new insights, and then generate an executive report with graphs explaining the newly created insights. Let's show you what it looks like. Click on the left-hand side to access flows. Here, you can see all of the public flows that your account has access to. If you create a flow and make it private, only you and the people you specifically share it with will have access. You can also see all of the previous runs of various flows and their results. Let's click into one of these flows just to see what's happening. At the top of the flow, you can see the overall configuration. This is where you name your flow and give it a description, a welcome message, and example input to help other people know what it's used for. You can also select your model and your privacy settings here. If you want to keep it private, but share with only a few other users, you can type in their names here. Next up, you add your first step. If you're familiar with Elvex apps, each step is basically an Elvex app. You have the instructions for what the AI is supposed to do. You have the ability to choose what model you want to power this interaction. You have the ability to equip the step with certain tools, like searching the web and using SQL data analysis. You can also connect your step to a specific data source. This is super powerful because you can have a bunch of steps in an overall flow where each one is connected just to the data that it specifically needs to run that exact action that you're requesting it to do. You can test the output of your step here. Just type it in and hit Run Test. This helps you understand if you are getting the output expected for this step. A very important part of the flows feature is this last bit right here, the result validation. This is a super powerful feature. What it is doing is adding an automated review to the output of that step to make sure that the output created matches what the step was instructed to create. If the results aren't good, the validator will end a flow early before running all the other steps, and also it will help you understand what went wrong so you can tweak the instructions. You can add a new step to your flow by clicking the plus button. A basic step is like all the things we've looked at so far, or you can choose the Ask an Assistant button. What this does is it allows you to choose a pre-existing Elvex app that you already have as a step in your flow. It's great. Each step is connected via these lines here. You can think of each step as producing something. It's either producing a final output, or it's producing something that influences the step that follows it. For example, this is a marketing flow. I have a step where I input vague goals about what I want the campaign to be. Then I have a step where it reads the internet to understand what's the current conversation about this type of topic. And then I have a step where it takes our messaging and integrates it with what's happening on the internet and says, okay, here's your campaign brief. Here's how we're going to talk about this campaign. Here's the messaging. And then I have following steps where I have it write me a webinar abstract, or it writes me emails to be sent via our HubSpot, or it writes me social posts. They take the messaging blueprint from the previous step and generate copy for me to use. Steps that do not have anything following them can be understood as final output. You can see the results of your flow here. When you click into the view details here, it'll go from what was the summary screen of your flow with an AI generated summary of what happened into the step-by-step detail. If I click into a specific one, like this one, I can see the results for what it created there for each step. I can also see the thinking for what the model was thinking for each step as well. And I can see the settings for what was supposed to happen in this step. Let's look at an example of a failed run. I can see by the red here that there's a step in this run that failed. I can click in and see an intelligent AI-generated analysis of what went wrong in that step. This helps me figure out what I need to do for success, either in tweaking the settings of the flow or in tweaking the output I gave at the start of the flow. You can see that this red one here is the one that failed. I added in a nonsensical step to force a failure to show you in this video how the debugging works. I added a step that asked for a data source that I hadn't actually connected. You can see that the validator agent detected that it wasn't there and marked this step as failed. Now that I know, I need to go in there and fix the settings of that step and attach the correct data source. There are so many amazing things that you can do with flows, and we don't have enough time in this video to show you them all. So that should be enough to get you started in tinkering with all the possibilities. As always, please reach out to support by using the chat in the bottom right hand of your screen if you have any questions.